on his rostrum, the white flag up. They're under starters' orders. And they're away. And as they go down towards the Melling Road, it's Furore who's taken it up from on the inside, Peckard, then moving up towards the outside, Miss Hunter with Lymetra, then Flo Subab and Kilburn towards the outside, and it's Peckard the Grey disputing it with Furore, then comes Lymetra, Miss Hunter towards the outside and Flo Subab, and as they cross the Melling Road, we join our country cameras and Julian Wilson.
And the field very tightly bunched at this stage. Still a long run to the first. Castle Falls disputing it towards the outside is the Fossa. Towards the inner is Ferryboat and Lymetra and Flo Subab. And over the first it's Miss Hunter disputing it with Flo Subab and Lymetra. Towards the outside the Fossa, Castle Falls, and then Fearless Fred. And no fallers at the first as they come into the second. It's the Fossa disputing it with Castle Falls. Lymetra on the inside, then Furore. Then comes Flo Subab. Towards the outside is the Fossa, Kilburn. And no fallers again at the second as they come into this third fence, the first open ditch, with Castle Falls disputing it with Furore on the inside. Lymetra just between these two. Then comes the Fossa and Flo Subab. This the order as we join Michael O'Hare.
And 2 to 4 to faller there, coming to this next fence now, and Castle Falls still up there in front with Miss Hunter and Lymetra. And the Fossa, and Fearless Fred is gone. Fearless Fred is a faller there. The Fossa made a bad mistake, but recovered quickly. There's still Castle Falls on the outside, Miss Hunter, Lymetra. These are the leaders, and they're followed by Kilburn, Juan on the outside, Steel Bridge along the inside, Furore right up with the leaders too. They're coming now to Beaches for the first time, and as they do so, it is Castle Falls who's just the leader on the outside with Miss Hunter, Lymetra, Furore, Kelsborough Wood. Flo Subab is over that, and very nearly a faller there, but not quite. It was the Fossa who looked like making trouble there, but didn't, and Peckard has fallen at the Beechers, over now to the fence after Beechers, and it is Furore who's the leader from Lymetra, Miss Hunter, and then Steelbridge, Castle Falls, then Game Person, then Kilburn, Kelsborough Wood, Tam Kiss, then the Fossa, then Highland Wedding, then Fort Sun, then comes the Inventor and Arcturus, and these are the leaders as they come to the canal turn, and all over the leaders anyway over the canal turn, and the leaders are Furore and Lymetra together. Steelbridge is next, and then Castle Falls on the outside. Miss Hunter is next, Flo Subab is next, then the Fossa, then comes Kelsborough Wood and Kilburn, then Highland Wedding, Fort Sun, then Tam Kiss, then Game Person, Arcturus the Inventor, Villet, then Lime Burner, then the Beaches, and with this order over to Michael Said Smith.
And as they come over the 10th, it's Mesa Gifford on Furore, who's the leader. He's just in front of Steelbridge, then Lymetra. Then the leading Irish challenger at the moment is Miss Hunter, Castle Falls, who's been up with the leaders all the time, coming now into fence number 11. And it's Furore and Flo Subab over together. Tam Kiss made a mistake there. Red Alligators about 10 lengths behind the leaders, and Bassnet made a mistake. Now they're coming to fence 12, and it's Mesa Gifford on Furore being challenged now by Lymetra, then Steelbridge, then Miss Hunter, then Castle Falls, then the leading of the amateurs in this race, Captain Parker Bowles on the Fossa, about 6 lengths behind the leaders. Red Alligator going quite steadily at this stage. Highland Wedding just behind the leaders, but as they recross the Melling Road, it's Furore, Castle Falls, Lymetra and Miss Hunter who are the leaders, and with that back to the grandstand.
Castle Falls on the outside, Steelbridge and Furore towards the inner, Miss Hunter right up with them, just in behind them Lymetra, then comes Game Person as well there towards the outside, and a long run now towards the next fence, and it's Lymetra and Castle Falls disputing it, the Fossa towards their outside, just in behind them Furore, then comes Game Person, behind Game Person is Highland Wedding who's right up there. Coming to this fence now, and as they do so, right on the inside it's Steelbridge with Furore, then comes Lymetra towards the outside with Castle Falls and the Fossa, behind them Miss Hunter, then the Grey, the Beaches, Castle Falls and the Fossa disputed it over that one, almost stride for stride with Furore on the inside and then Steelbridge, then comes Flo Subab and Highland Wedding, behind Highland Wedding is Miss Hunter. Coming to the next fence now, and the one after this will be the chair, and as they come to this, Castle Falls and the Fossa almost stride for stride there, from Steelbridge on the inside, then Furore, then Flo Subab and then Kilburn, then Kelsborough Wood on the inside, and then Highland Wedding and Lymetra. Behind Lymetra is Villet. Then comes the Beaches and Tam Kiss. Behind Tam Kiss is the Inventor with Fort Sun, and then Rondetto. Then comes Arcturus, and behind Arcturus, and somewhere behind him is Bassnet. Over the chair now, Steelbridge on the inside, Flo Subab, Castle Falls. The Inventor nearly went there but got away with it. Coming to the water now for the only time, and Steelbridge in the lead from Flo Subab in second, Castle Falls 4. 5 is Kilburn, and 6 is Furor, 7 is the Fossa on the inside, and then comes Kelsborough Wood, and behind Kelsborough Wood is Highland Wedding, and then Limetta and the Beaches and Fort Son, and behind Fort Son is Hove. Then comes Miss Hunter and the Grey Tam Kiss, and then the Inventor. Behind them Arcturus, and then Game Purston. Then comes Rondetto. Behind Rondetto is last year's winner Red Alligator. Then comes Basnett with Moidor's Token to the outside, and in behind Moidor's Token is Lime Burner, and they're the only ones left in the race now. And as they come to Anchor Crossing for the second time, it's Flosu Barb, Steel Bridge. On the inside, Kilburn. Towards the outside, Castle Falls with the Fossa, and then comes Kelsborough Wood. The Furor just in behind them, and back to Julian Wilson.
And this will be the 17th fence, and it's Castle Falls still disputing it with Flosu Barb towards the inside, Steel Bridge right there, Highland Wedding going really well on the outside, and over that it was Steel Bridge, who's still just the leader now from Castle Falls weakening, then Flosu Barb, the Fossa still right up there on the outside, and Highland Wedding over that. It was Steel Bridge still disputing it with Fossa towards the outside. Then comes Highland Wedding, Flosu Barb and Kilburn. These 5 are clear of Castle Falls and the Beaches as they come to the next. And it's Steel Bridge who just leads over that one from the Fossa, Flosu Barb, Kilburn, Highland Wedding and Castle Falls. Red Alligators are follow there as we join Michael O'Hare.
And so also Hove, and now they come to this next fence. And as they do, it is Steel Bridge still the leader. And there's a faller there. Kilburn right up with the leaders too. And Flosu Barb is the faller there. Flosu Barb is the faller as they come to this next fence. The fence before Beaches, the Steel Bridge, the Fossa. Highland Wedding on the outside. Kilburn well there along the inside. Rondetto right up behind the leaders. Fort Son well there. The Beaches is making ground. And Kelsborough Wood is also just behind the leaders. Coming now to Beaches Brook for the second time. And it's Highland Wedding. Steel Bridge on the inside. The Fossa. Kilburn. Rondetto right up with them too. And Highland Wedding is gone. Highland Wedding is gone. And Kilburn is a faller there too. And so also is Tam Kiss. And now they come now to the fence after Beaches, and it's Steel Bridge from Highland Wedding, who is in second place there. He's recovered and has gone on there, and is in second place. In third place is the Fossa. Then comes Rondetta, who's being closely followed by the Beaches, making ground steadily, and he's being followed by Fort Son and Kelsborough Wood now to the canal turn. And as they get over the canal turn, it's Highland Wedding, in fact, who jumps it in front. Highland Wedding in front of Steel Bridge, with then Rondetto, who's been closely followed by the Fossa, then the Beaches, Fort Son, and Kelsborough Wood of Basnett making ground in behind these. Over Valentine's now, stretching out over Valentine's, it is Highland Wedding who's in front. Highland Wedding the leader from Steel Bridge, and then Rondetto, and then the Fossa, the Beaches making ground, and then Fort Son, and over to you, Michael Smith.
And Eddie Harty on Highland Wedding, he's in the lead by a length and a half. He had a quick look round over his shoulder there. Jeff King with a black eye on Rondetto coming up very prominently into second place, and Josh Giffords beginning his run confidently on Basnett, about 5 lengths behind the leaders. They're coming now to the 28th fence, and Highland Wedding about 3 lengths clear. He's going terribly well. He's just in the lead though, with Steel Bridge second, Rondetto third, Josh Gifford in fourth place. He's still making up ground on Basnett. Then comes Bill Reese on the Grey, the Beaches, and the Fossa losing ground steadily. But as they recross the Melling Road, it's Highland Wedding just in the lead from Steel Bridge, Rondetto, and in fourth place Josh Gifford on Basnett, still making up ground on the leading 3, and with Highland Wedding the leader back to the grandstand.
Highland Wedding by just about half a length from Steel Bridge. In behind Steel Bridge is Rondetto. Basnett still closing with the leading trio, and the Grey, the Beaches, following them. Behind the Beaches is Kelsborough Wood, and then comes Philly, and then Fort Son, and then comes Arcturus, who's still standing with the Fossa, and they're just about the only ones left in it now. And as they race towards the second last fence, it's Highland Wedding being pressed by Rondetto, Steel Bridge, Basnett still making ground, and the Grey, the Beaches coming to the second last now, and it's Highland Wedding and Eddie Hardy in the lead from Rondetto on the inside. Then comes Steel Bridge, and then Basnett, who jumps it fourth. Then the Grey, the Beaches. They're coming to the final fence now in the 1969 National, and Highland Wedding, 12 years old, going strong in front from Rondetto, Steel Bridge and Basnett. Over the last, it's Highland Wedding, over clear of Rondetto, Steel Bridge. Basnett jumps it fourth. Fifth is the Beaches, coming up now towards the elbow, and it's Highland Wedding from Rondetto, the 13-year-old. It's a 12-year-old from a 13-year-old. Steel Bridge racing after them. Basnett in fourth place, but Highland Wedding with a pearl on the run now has only got Steel Bridge to beat. Rondetto weakening and coming up towards the line. Eddie Hardy looking over his shoulder. He sees he's got it sewn up, and Highland Wedding striding away. He's going to win the 1969 National from Steel Bridge and Rondetto. And at the line, Highland Wedding is the winner. Steel Bridge is second. Rondetto is third. The Beaches is just coming up into fourth place now. Fifth is Basnett, 6 Arcturus, and 7 is Fort Son behind him.
Early morning at Aintree. Grand National Day had dawned. In just a few hours, the crowds would be flocking here, the horses prancing and raring to go. But for the time being, the scene setters put the finishing touches to the stage on which the greatest steeplechase show on earth would be enacted, the 1969 Grand National. The New Day quiet still hung over the stables. The doors remained barred for now. But behind those doors were the stars of the day, the runners. Everyone at the peak of perfection, guarded through the night and cosseted from the dawn. So the hours wound down. Valuable horses and valuable trophies began to put in their appearances. The Aintree scene began to come to life. While thousands of racegoers were still journeying to the Liverpool course, the police prepared to smooth the way for them. Crowds, traffic, lost children, and keeping the peace. A day of work for the men in blue. A day at the races for the thousands who were there to help. The big rush was on its way. Train after train brought the public to the small station just by the racecourse. From all over the country and indeed from all over the world, they'd come to fill the grandstands and pack into vantage points around the huge course. These were some of the audience who'd come to see and be seen in the setting of the spectacular event. Now was the time to decide on that last-minute flutter. But there were few absolutely certain about the fine performance Highland Wedding would give. Still, as the jockeys made their appearance, there was much speculating going on amongst the punters. Pickard looked pretty good, and at 100-8, Bassnet was a fair bet. In a race like the National, they all stood a good chance. Red Alligator, last year's winner and the favorite. The excitement keyed up as the runners and riders headed out of the parade ring and onto the track. The flag at half-mast was a sad note of the day, reminding everyone of General Eisenhower's death. The bookies took their last-minute bets. The odds fluctuated as the punters crowded in. It's always a thrilling and colourful scene as the horses make their way up to the start. This day was no exception. Seconds to go. Alec Marsh, the starter, got into position. They were off. 30 keyed-up horses headed for the first jump. Instructions were to take it easy. The going was firm and fast. Into and safely over the first fence they went. Kilburn in the lead. No troubles as they headed for number 2. The Fossa going well. Into the second. No casualties. With the Fossa, Miss Hunter, Flossubarb and Limitra up front. Red Alligator and Bassnet at the rear of the field. The third was the fence that claimed the first Grand National runner. Tudor Fort was out of the race. But as they settled down into their stride, there was little change at the front. The race was still young. Ferrari the second was showing well as they came into the fourth. The Ellis Red was a faller here. The 1969 National was shaping as a real classic. Few fallers so far, and a good racing pace. Beecher's Brook coming up. Furore the second making the running in company with Castle Falls and Flossubarb. Still in the lead, Furore the second. Steel Bridge, Kilburn and Castle Falls and Flossubarb all going well. On to the notorious Canal Turn. Furore the second led the way into and out of this sharp left-hander. All got safely over, with the Fossa, Bassnet and Red Alligator still keeping well to the rear. Valentine's Brook was next. And the 10th, Ballinaboitra fell, and began to take shape. Terosian, the Fossa, Rossin Babet were out of the running. Over the last jump of the first circuit, and the runners wheeled into their second lap. This was the beginning of the real testing time, when stamina and courage show a horse for what he is. The 17s presented no problem except for Juan, who refused. Steelbridge was running strongly, but there were shots aplenty coming up as Red Alligator and Ho fell at the 19th. Red Alligator's disappearance was disaster for the punters. Then came Flussubab's turn for calamity at the 20th. But still up at the front was Steelbridge, with Highland Wedding and Rondetto beginning to show. Into Beaches for the second time. The pace and strength-sapping Grand National jumps taking their toll. Approaching the 23rd, one before the canal turn. Steelbridge maintained the lead, but Highland Wedding was improving all the time. Keeping company with them was Rondetto. Highland Wedding jumped into the lead at Valentine's from Steelbridge and Rondetto. This was the way it stayed right up to the winning post. Highland Wedding was going so well that even at this stage, his supporters were shouting him home. The 12-year-old was going like a 2-year-old. Steelbridge and Rondetto gamely battled to keep in touch with him, but as they came up to the last jump, Highland Wedding changed gear and brought out a mighty surge of reserve power to stride away from his rivals. What a fantastic run-in. Steelbridge and Rondetto didn't stand a chance against the strength and speed of the 12-year-old as he strode out to the winning post. Highland Wedding had done it by 12 lengths. Eddie Harty had ridden him to a superb victory from Steelbridge, Rondetto and the Beaches. So after finishing the course, but being beaten in 2 previous Grand Nationals, third time was lucky for Highland Wedding. Both he and jockey Eddie Harty deserved their ovation as they made for the winning enclosure. Highland Wedding had well and truly won the blue ribband event of the steeplechasing world. A clear-cut victory where luck didn't figure at all, only ability. And he was the horse with plenty of that.